Hi everyone, my name is Claire. I'm a 35-year-old hybrid athlete. I'm a CrossFitter by day and an NBA dancer by night. And for 100 days, I only ate meat, fruit, and dairy, and this is what happened. My nails got incredibly strong. That was one of the first things I noticed is, damn, they grew fast and they're strong. I lost about 5 to 6 pounds of body fat, and it just kind of melted off of my body. Now, I was not overweight to begin with. I am a hybrid athlete, so working out and eating right was always a big priority of mine. But since being animal based, those last 5 to 6 pounds simply melted off so easily. My strength went up exponentially. As athletes, we know the more mass you have, the more you weigh, the more you can lift, right? Mass moves mass. I knew that I was getting stronger, number one, because I was accidentally hitting PRs with my lifts, as in I was accidentally lifting heavier than normal simply because it felt good. And intuitively, I was like, these weights feel light today. Let me add some weight. And I would do another rep, whether it was a squat clean, a bench press, a back squat. I was like, okay, let's go 5 pounds heavier, do some reps. And then next thing I know it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just hit a personal record, a PR. Secondly, I knew it was going up because even though I weighed less from my fat loss, I was still hitting the percentages that I needed to hit on a weekly basis. Maybe it was hitting a heavy double at 95% of your 1 rep max back squat. I was still able to hit the numbers I needed to hit successfully, even though I weighed less. One of the coolest and probably most significant jumps for me personally was my endurance as an athlete. Now, I've always been an endurance athlete. For me, the longer the workout, the better. Like CrossFit WODs, give me Murph, give me the 12 days of Christmas, give me like the 1 hour long workouts. I do well with those. Man, I was not ready to experience that increase of an engine. I was able to go longer and better and faster. In a previous video, I also mentioned that I did a Spartan 5K sprint during the time I was animal based as well. I actually finished first place in my age group. And when I crossed the finish line, I was not out of breath. So I could have gone longer, faster, tried harder to get a better time. My recovery, my muscle recovery was just a lot faster. After Murph, I mean, that is a brutal workout, right? 1 mile, all those reps, you finish with a mile, and I wore a 7-pound vest for the first time in my life. You would think that I would want to take a few days of rest off. Literally the next day, I took class and I worked out and I was fine. My husband got sick twice and I never got it. I used to get sick, I would say once every 3 months. So I work at a gym, and one of my gym members who I've known for years, she said, "You are the fittest but sickest person I know." Because even though I worked out all the time and danced all the time and, try to eat right, I would still get sick like several times a year. And if my husband got sick, I would eventually get sick and vice versa. But during these 100 days, he got sick twice and I never got it. So my immunity was up. I have been known to have terrible seasonal allergies. Once springtime hits, it is over. Runny nose, itchy eyes. I even one time was taking like a double dose a day of allergy pills just because it was so bad. Eye drops, like whatever, you name it. It was really, really, really bad. A week and a half into my 100 days, my allergy symptoms started to vanish. And during this time, I really wanted to test being animal based. And so I didn't take any allergy pills. I did not take any eye drops. I just relied solely on what I was eating, and it worked. My allergy symptoms went down tremendously. I wouldn't say they disappeared, but they weren't like life-changing. So I've been doing CrossFit for about 4 years now. So that's a lot of weightlifting, running, jump rope, box jumps, whatever, single leg squats. Like it can be a lot on your body. I'm also dancing several hours a day. Sometimes, it's a long game day, whatever. I'm on my feet a lot. I'm a personal trainer. I'm bending over, putting plates on barbells. Movement is my life. And with that comes natural aches and pains. And for a long time, I was experiencing pretty bad left elbow pain and pretty bad right knee pain, where if it was a squat day, I would have to start doing a specific knee warm up just so that I could squat pain free. We were training for a CrossFit competition. And so I just started to be upside down or lock out my elbow significantly more than usual, whether it was barbell snatches, dumbbell snatches, handstand walks, handstand push-ups. So it was just a lot of locking out of the elbow, a lot of strain. And so I started developing elbow pain and it got so bad. And of course, I was like, I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm gonna ignore it. And I had that for months and it was just getting worse and worse and worse to the point where I would push down on a soap dispenser to wash my hands, and that would flare up my elbow pain. I couldn't even hold a frying pan without holding it with two hands because it would hurt my elbow. I went to two different chiropractors for my elbow specifically, and it did not get any better. On day 8 out of 100, the joint pain disappeared. I didn't stop handstands. I didn't stop doing barbell snatches. I didn't stop going inverted. It just vanished. That was really, really cool. I used to experience a numbness in my arms after waking up. I would sometimes wake up with my entire arm being numb. And it wasn't both arms, it was just one arm. And it would change sometimes. It was not every single morning, but it was some mornings I'd wake up and the whole thing was numb. And it wasn't that I slept wrong. I typically sleep on my back. I'm not a side sleeper. It was really, really weird. It's hard to explain, but just a numbness every now and then, and only during the morning. During my 100 days, never experienced it. Zero. I recently had a little cheat meal where I had some brownies and some chips with some dip the next morning. Guess what was numb? My arm, and it went away within half an hour. Could have been sugar, seed oils. Energy levels skyrocketed. I'm not an early morning person. I'm a morning person. I'm like a 7 a.m.er. I used to have to peel my face off of my pillow every time I woke up in the morning. It was ugh. During my 100 days, I shot out of bed like a cannon. You could not keep me down. So energy levels in the morning skyrocketed, and my energy levels throughout the day, great, steady, no complaints. We're good. I used to have to drink 2, sometimes 3 cups of coffee during the day. I would wake up, drink coffee. I would train my clients, and then I would drink coffee while I'm training my clients. And then I'd work out, and then I'd come home, and then I would have coffee again before a game or before a rehearsal. Now I drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning, and we are good to go. Mood swings. I used to have them pretty bad. And you can ask my husband, I was a moody, moody girl. So we now know that depression stems in your gut microbiome. I used to have pretty bad mood swings and depressive episodes because my gut microbiome was out of whack from eating sugar and flour and seed oils and all that stuff for 35 years of my life. It was all out of whack. And so I experienced crazy mood swings, especially around my period. Eventually, little by little, the mood swings went away. I felt more in control of my emotions. Nothing would trigger me to be super sad or upset. I just felt more emotionally balanced and level headed. And that's because the foods that I was eating was healing and resetting my gut microbiome to a healthy state. One of the best positive side effects of only eating meat, fruit, and dairy for 100 days is it cured me of my binge eating disorder of 17 years. And I'm definitely going to make a whole video just on that because, yeah, it's a lot. So that was my experience, my first 100 days. Since then, I've experimented with just eating beef, bacon, butter, and eggs, and going back to meat, fruit, and dairy. And so right now it's just a blend of it, still experimenting with what works best for me as a woman, what works best for me as an athlete, and just as someone enjoying their food and being in their mid 30s. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos about my carnivore journey. Bye.